like to understand the why. I've read through all the frequently asked questions and things like that, and I do not understand the why this is being proposed, and where was the public interest represented? Did you get emails? Did it come at Cracker Barrels? Was this a groundswell from the public to bring this forward? I just...
Started from the governor. He wants a state park named after.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
You just keep going on and on and on. I'm with you 100%.
Okay.
We're together on all this.
Okay, well, I just...
Senator Russell and I came down to Custer here 3-4 weeks ago when you had the meeting at the annex over behind the library there. And we drove up, we thought maybe something was going on at the school or something because the parking lot was full and it was like 22 below on my vehicle, and it doesn't even get 22 below in Custer. When does that happen? So I walk in there and I think there was 98 people in this little room, and of course everybody there was, and I'm disagreeing with them, loved the federal government, hated the state government, and Lance and I were the two state guys, you know. And but what we get in our emails, and I said earlier today, there isn't a lot of things in life that are 100%, but it's 100% against it. Even if we were for it, we have no choice but to make sure it doesn't happen because of our constituents, and we're not for it.
We're not for it.
But what chaps me on the deal is anything in Pierre that's talked about this is the Spearfish Canyon. Not one word about Bismarck Lake or Camp Bob Marshall, which is 524 acres out of the 1,460 acres that are there. So over 25% is in Custer County. And then when the governor says, he comes out, he keeps kind of changing the direction here to sweeten the pie, you might say. Well, there's not going to be any charge now. That's the last thing. Well, there's going to be a charge in Custer State Park, but he doesn't even talk about Custer State Park. It's all Spearfish Canyon. The legislators East River don't know anything about Custer Park or Custer State Park and Camp Bob Marshall and Bismarck Lake. They look at you like you're making it up. And we got to get those guys on our side to defeat this.
So we have been doing that.
We've been working hard. If you let me keep going, then I'll tell them.
I just want you to know.
And we do have, and just you got to know the way it is. We have a handful, maybe 8 or 10, West River legislatures that will vote with the governor lockstep. If the governor says we're going to go on top of the Capitol and walk off, they would do it. So that's against us. I did talk the House Minority Leader. There's 10 people in the House, 10 Democrats out of 70, 60 are Republicans, but there's some that I question if they're Republican or not. They're racially governors guys. But the 10, I talked to Spence Hawley, who's the Minority Leader. Him and I were lieutenants in the Army years ago, and they're going to go with us on it. So that's a big step in the House. So we got 10 automatically. We got other than the governor's people from Rapid City, we got them. Now we got to get the East River people. Because what we have to do to kill this is not appropriate funds for $2.5 million.
Yes.
That's the easiest way. Now, they brought it up earlier today at one of the Cracker Barrels. Doesn't it have to go through Congress? And it does take an act of Congress. But what the governor's trying to do is get everything done at the state level, so if it goes through Congress, and I'm not so sure that it won't.
Trying.
I'm sorry?
They're trying.
I'm not so sure that Thune and Senator Rounds and Representative Noem won't get it through it, and I'm not so sure if, and President Trump, if it goes there and he sees that's the will of the people, he'll probably sign off on it. So I don't think we want to worry that the feds are going to kill it. I think we got to kill it. He came out yesterday and said he didn't know if he could get the funds.
Yeah, that's in Sentinel today.
Yeah, so he's starting to feel it. And I talked earlier, he said earlier this last week that he hasn't heard any opposition to it. Now, let me explain though. You got to, just a little bit, I've been at Pierre and I've been over there a couple other times before that. He is very, very well insulated. And the only people I talk to him are the people that nod their head like this. So, and I'm not saying the guy's a liar. He probably hasn't had any opposition to it because they don't tell him that. I mean, that's really, really possible.
To my knowledge, he wants a state park named after him. That's what we've heard. He wants a Dugard State Park. That's what we've heard. And even though I'm not talking a lot right now, I do talk a lot in Pierre. And I started going to the East River people in the people in the middle of the state, and I was talking to them about it. Oh, we heard you guys love that. You want that. And I said, no, we don't. No, we don't. So we've been working really hard to talk to everybody we can to let them know, please don't support this. We do not want it. We talk about Bismarck Lake. Nobody even knows about Bismarck Lake, like Tim said. Haven't got a clue because in the governor's address, he just had a picture of Spearfish Canyon. It's very frustrating, but I think we have talked enough to them so that they know this is not the will of the people. If it says 300 in the paper, we've heard it was 600 in Spearfish. We are doing everything we can to ensure that they vote no on the funding. I have a couple friends on appropriations, so I asked them to keep it, let me know what's happening. And I said, why is the emergency clause on it? And and then I went to the LRC and I said, I'm new, what constitutes something? What qualifies it to have an emergency clause on it? Because this is not an emergency. And they said, well, I think it's just because they want the funding to come from 2017's budget. I said, well, we don't have any funding for it. So, and again, you can't refer it to the people. So, we are talking to people, and the best thing we can do is maybe, if you guys don't send any form emails, but maybe contact legislators across the state and just say, I understand that you're not in our neck of the woods. That being said, if you come to visit in the fall, you may not be able to go camping. And I've told a lot of people, Bismarck Lake, if the state gets it and it's only open so many months for camping, then that affects us when tourist season. And if we have a beautiful October, November, and we want to go out there, we wouldn't be able to enjoy it. And we want it just left the way it is. So,